I now have the lovely chance of having another panel. We have Candy, Jackie, Katherine, and Laura. I'm going to ask that all of you raise your hand so that we can tag you. And the topic of this is, if I can read it, leading through challenge and creating change. And so, oh, look at how quick you were up there. Amazing. Candy is our amazing moderator and one of our authors. So as we go through, she's also going to share her ideas. And I love the color combo that you all decided on today. Amazing. Have fun. I'm going to drop off now.
We definitely collaborated on the color combo.
Yes,
for
we
sure,
planned.
right?
It was planned. Yes, totally planned.
So thank you so much for being here. My name is Candy Motzek, and I am so pleased to be just doing the moderating for this panel. I'm looking forward to hearing your answers and to learning from you. And also just a huge thank you to Diane for hosting this launch party and to all of the amazing authors. So pleased to learn from all of you. I am not going to start with my introduction. I'm going to ask you ladies to start with your introduction. Do you know what to do? Laura, do you want me to give you the idea? Laura, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. I'm Laura Richards. I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery expert, and I'm the host of the That's Where I'm At podcast. I wanted to be part of this book because narcissists are everywhere, and I wanted to help leaders learn how to deal with them. And so my teaser of my book is that I give you 3 steps for dealing with narcissistic people when you're a leader and how to keep your integrity as you deal with them.
Oh, that's great. Jackie, I have seen you. You clap for everybody. You are the cheerleader, and I love it. Could you introduce yourself as well?
Hey y'all, I'm Jacquie Rougeau. I'm in my lakefront property here in Lacklahash, BC, Canada. I'm a nomad, an adventurer, traveler. I'm also a coach, speaker, and cheerleader. Good call, Candy. For women ready to lead boldly in their second chapter of life. I jumped into the book because I know the power of rising strong and wanting other women to know that they can do the same. And my piece is real. It's a raw look at bouncing back after loss, leading with love and always some sass, and finding your fire again, no matter what age. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Katherine, what about you?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Diane, for bringing us all together. I'm really grateful for these new connections. I'm Katherine Johnston. I'm the founder and executive director of Global Minds. That's Minds with a Z. And I provide leadership development and coaching worldwide. I must admit, I became a part of this book mostly out of curiosity, wanting to get back into writing. And as I enter the last decade of my career, I want to give back. So I love supporting leaders and entrepreneurs to be their best. I hate seeing them struggle and looking for direction and finding a path because there's no recipe. So the outcome is I created this boss and buddy concept as a framework to balance between the 2 roles, right? Which is a playbook in a sense. And it's based on a leadership book I wrote some years ago with Lisa. So that's where I am at. Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, that's so great. And I love this, entering the last decade of your career and wanting to really give back and support the people who are coming forward. That's wonderful. So let me introduce myself. My name's Candy Motzek, and I am a leadership coach as well as a business coach for high achievers. And I'm also the host of the top podcast called She Coaches. Coaches, yeah, it's a mouthful. I'm excited to be part of this book because that word secrets, it's really easy for people in leadership to pretend like they have it all together. But I really like that idea of we all get to share that behind the scenes, we all have self-doubt, we all experience imposter syndrome, we all have good days and bad days. And that really spoke to me as well. And then the piece that I wrote, it's just the wake-up call. It is so important for us to have that collaboration and the engagement and the support of mentors and leaders who bring us forward. But I wanted to remind us to lead from within as well, to look inside at what's going on with me and making sure that my leadership was aligned with who I am. So that's my bio. Now let's dive into the rest of the questions. So let's start with this. I'm reading the question just so you know. So what I'd love to hear is I'd love to hear a moment that you had to lead through a challenge. And what did that teach you about yourself and your leadership capacity? Katherine, can we go to you first? I would love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So anytime I get this question, it just gives me this sense of deja vu, and one of the toughest personally and professionally difficult moments in my life. Right. And like, what do they say? Like that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So it was good. And it was life-changing for me. So I was a business change leader for the Coca-Cola Company. I was leading a year-long SAP implementation project of 23 team members in 8 Nordic and Baltic countries with the same go live date. No one would ever do that today, but they did. And one of the things that I realized was like the critical importance of communicating, never enough hours in the day, but I did it. And how important it is to motivate others, because I could not possibly do the work myself, right? So that's the thing. But as a leader, you have to let go. You have to trust your team. You have to enable them. You have to motivate them. You have to communicate with them, because you cannot possibly do it yourself. And so, and with a qualifier, this was before my 2 sons were born, because I couldn't have managed it otherwise. But then I could and work like ridiculous hours. But that understanding of like communication and motivation was life-changing for me. So I realized I was more interested in people development rather than working with spreadsheets, which was finance and IT, which is my previous background. So I switched to consulting and leadership, and here I am 20 years later doing what I love. But that was a breaking point. Like it could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. And I became more people oriented rather than task oriented.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. Leaning into the thing that draws you the most, and that's probably your strength as well. That's great. Jacquie, what about you?
Yeah, when the company I had poured into 17 years of my life suddenly closed, it honestly felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me. I can still feel the emotions of it right now. I was grieving, disappointed, and heartbroken. But I still had people that were looking up to me for guidance. I wanted to honestly just crawl away and stay with my grief, but I knew I couldn't. And that moment taught me that leadership isn't always about having all the answers. It's about showing up anyway with honesty, grace, and grit. I realized I was stronger than I thought I was, and leading through a storm doesn't require a cape, just courage and heart.
Mm, that's wonderful. Ah,
Love
was
that.
great. So touching.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Laura, what about you?
Well, I'm just thinking back to a community group that I used to lead, and how it just really goes along with what I talk about now with narcissists and with toxic people in general and difficult people, and how I would have people who really looked up to me and I was able to lead. And then I had someone who, as soon as everybody left the room, would come and like fight with me in certain ways where it wouldn't even seem believable when I would tell other people. And so what looking back, what it taught me was I did not have the skills that I needed for such a person. I was very meek, and even though I was having to lead, I was very meek. I thought it was my fault that they were treating me in that way, and so that's why I talk about this now and the way you can keep your integrity as you're dealing with difficult people, because it isn't usually about you. It's usually about their toxicity.
Mm, yeah. I love how each of you, everything that you said sort of comes back to this. And I learned something more about me and how I showed up and grew through it. It's a wonderful through line. Let's go on to the next question. So, what one change, and I think that focuses on that word one, what one change would you like to see made to help more women be leaders? Who wants to go first? Jackie, I can
Sure.
see your smile.
Well, Diane knows this one well from me. I love to see aging women celebrated, not sidelined. You know, there's a belief out there that leadership and women as a whole have a expiry date. And yeah, no. Women are 40, 50, 60 plus are often packed, well, they are packed with wisdom and creativity and fire, but they're often overlooked. And so let's start spotting like shifting to spot the light on them. You're not too late. In fact, you're right on time. And we need to focus on like reinvention, not retirement. Like your life is not over. And I'm really here to lift people up and remind them of who they are.
That's so great. Laura, what about you? What would you say?
Yes, and I second that motion. I'm 58, started this new career at 56, and it's like, yes, I would love to see, what I wrote down was that I would love to see women in leadership be just commonplace, right? And that even as us, as we'll say, quote unquote, older women, right? As when older women are celebrated, like you were saying, Jackie, and it's more commonplace that women are in leadership, I think it sends that message to the young girls, right? And to those teens that are looking and going, oh, I can do that too, because women hold that place in leadership. I just would love to see it be more commonplace and not something that's just unusual. I just would love it to be more commonplace.
Yeah. Katherine.
So this is fascinating because when I initially had the question, I'm like, I don't have a lot to say about this. And now I do. So I have three. So I think it's a tough question. One of the things I've learned recently, I think it requires like to see more women be leaders. And I'm thinking from a young, like 25 to 45. I think we need systemic changes, right? There are some like structural problems when it comes to allowing women to be at their best and be visible and be promoted. So, like, when do you have your meetings? Well, after drop off at school and before pick up at school. Are you flexible and you can do your 2 hours of work at 8 in the evening or 5 in the morning? Like, what works? So, I think there's some systemic changes that, especially in certain industries like tech, finance, like a startup, I think there's some work to be done there. I love that there's the Pay Transparency Act now in BC. I think that will help. There are intersectionality implications. So a Caucasian female versus a Black female or a female with disabilities, like the pay disparity or the promotion disparity increases exponentially. That is a systemic problem. And it's also access to opportunity. So I'm like very, very passionate about that. And based on what Jackie and Laura have said, I'm like all in on that. And one of the things now when I mentor or coach younger women is to say, what is most important for you now in the phase of life you are? And using myself as example, I had children very late in life. So I like that crazy project I did for Coke with the countries and all of that before kids, thank God. Then I had children. I was so grateful. So I really focused on them. My son just got his driver's license. He's going to university. My other son is at university in the US. And my 5 years of caring for my aging mother, which took 20 hours a week, are over. So I feel like I am in like I don't know, the brilliance of my third career. I don't know if you, Jackie and Laura feel the same, but I'm like, oh my God, I have so many hours. Like I can build my business. So that's where I would say the risk of a company overlooking people, and whether they're like they had kids young or they had kids older, but like the risk of overlooking people between 45 and 65, that's a bad move because we have the capacity to really put it all in if we want.
Wow. Katherine, I loved how you summed that up too. I won't even say my opinion. It's all of the above and a little bit more. So let's wrap it up because we've got a limited time. We're going to wrap it up with this rapid fire question, and it's going to be like a bottom line. One quick sentence. What is your secret weapon for staying calm under pressure? Katherine, do you want to go first?
Yeah, deep breathing. Like exhale out 2 counts longer than inhale. 5 years ago, I would have said, look calm even when you don't feel it inside because everyone's looking to you. But that creates internal stress.
Yeah. Jacquie,
Oh,
your
well,
answer.
it's obvious. It's always for me, Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. I hands down, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I take action before that fear takes over. It's my brain's cue to stop spiraling, stop thinking, and start leading, even when I'm sweating through it.
Excellent. I love it. Laura, take us home. What's yours?
Just do it afraid. I think there are those times, right? In that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it afraid, because there's never a time that none of us are doing it like we're perfectly fine all the time. Just do it afraid. It's okay. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that it was the wrong choice. Just do it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us. Really appreciate it. Diane, back to you.
Amazing
Candy.
job, Candy. Thank you, Jacquie, Laura, and Katherine. But Candy, before you go, what's your answer to the rapid fire? Let's get that in.
I do this kind of lean back and take a breath and try to keep perspective. You know, most of those pressure situations, they're not that big of a deal in the real world.
So good.
Mhm.
So good.
Diane, can I just give a quick shout out to Candy, who like facilitated so well and kept us right on point on the 15 minutes? Like that was amazing.
I have my timer.
Yeah, well, you know, you're not just a podcaster for nothing, right?
Right.
It's amazing to see you all in this way as well as to read your pieces in the book.